Hello.
Great. So, Jennifer, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good as well. Thank you so much. I mean, what better way to finish this epic evening with an epic guest?
Oh, thank you.
So, before we start, before we start, I want to thank those who are watching right now here on Instagram or later on YouTube or Spotify. If you're watching this, I mean, if it is your birthday, happy birthday. If it is a good day for you, keep having it. Also, if you also have been watch all of my episodes on YouTube or Spotify or Reheat even, thank you so much. Make sure that you follow Jennifer in all of the social media, and that's it. So, going back to the interview. So before we start, I have to give you a proper epic badass welcome. So if you have seen some of my episodes before, you know exactly what I'm about to do. If not, that's fine. Let me show you. There you go. There you go. I mean, we don't have audience yet. I mean, we're just a small operation at the moment, but we're growing. So
one of my friends, Marty, is watching. Hey, Marty.
Perfect. So, starting right now with the whole interview, now tell me how your acting, dancing, and singing career started.
So basically, I went to college for dance, and I was kind of groomed to be a modern company dancer. And I applied at NYU Tisch School to join their graduate program, and I unfortunately did not get selected. So I thought to myself, what are my other options? I still want to perform, so I decided to audition for Walt Disney World because they offer actors equity contracts, and I knew that if I wanted to make it on Broadway, I would need my union card. So I auditioned and I booked it. So that's kind of where I started, and I stayed there for about 6 years, doing a couple of different projects there, and then from then I just kind of started doing other things and traveling.
That's amazing. So you were in the Disney Cruise Line Lab. You basically create movement choreography for the show. So tell me about that experience.
So basically, when any new show is starting, whether it be on Broadway or off Broadway, they ask a couple of people to come in and do a workshop. Okay. So the choreographer puts all the movement on the bodies, and then they just kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work. So I did the same exact thing for one of the Disney fantasy ships. And so they put the movement on my body as well as 2 other females. And we did a big showcase so they could see what was going to be on the ship. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, such a cool experience also. And also, I guess that that being like in that, like to have that experience also kind of taught you a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it just kind of gets you into the mind of a choreographer and the directors and how they perceive things and how they need to organize the show for, whatever particular venue it's going to be in, what the audience is going to be. So it's really cool to be a part of it. And there's no pressure, they just want to see what you have to offer, and they take what you have and they just build upon it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then you were in Universal Singapore.
I
did.
You
were a singer and dance captain. Tell me about that experience, and also how you usually prepare before started singing.
Yeah. So I knew a casting director that lived in LA, and he was the casting director for the park that opened in 2009. And he asked me if I wanted to come and be a part of it. And I said, absolutely. I'd never done anything overseas before. And, I was about 25, 26 at the time. So I really felt, the travel bug. So I went over there and we opened the park. I was the singer in a show called The Mel's Dinettes. So it was just kind of like a 50s doo-wop show. And I was also the dance captain. So a lot of my responsibility was to maintain the show choreography and also to set the show on new people. So that was really fun. Living in Singapore was such a great experience. It's a gorgeous country. And it's very, very westernized. So I didn't feel too overwhelmed as if I was going to a country like Beijing, where, English is not commonly known in the population. So it was just very comfortable living in Singapore.
That is amazing. I mean, I mean, I do guess that whenever you get the chance to travel overseas, but with the thing that you love the most, that's kind of a plus,
Absolutely. You get paid to do what you love in a new place. And most of the time, 99% of the time, they take care of your accommodation. So everything is taken care of.
That's so amazing. And
Yeah,
like, what
right?
are some of the things that you usually do in order to prepare a character for a musical, for example?
It just depends on what the character is. So my last job that I did, the Donna Summer musical on tour, I was the female swing, and the way that the show was created, the female ensemble played male characters.
Okay.
So that was something that was very interesting and new for me because I had to change my perception and my perspective every time that I would go into a specific track each day. If I was playing a male track, I would need to change my mannerisms. I would need to deepen my voice. I would need to move like a man. I would need to have more masculine quality. And then if I was a female, I could keep, my own persona. So it just kind of depends. I know that's such an unusual answer, but with the way that we're moving forward in theater, I think it's very cool that women can play men and men can play women. And I kind of just get into the character, just deciding, what character I am for the day. And I really try to put myself in their shoes.
Totally. Wow. I mean, at the end of the day, I do think that art has no genre, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, if you get the chance, like, to be anything you want,
You can.
That's so amazing. Wow. And what do you usually do before and after a musical? I mean, do you have, let's say, like a specific routine or
I do.
Something you always do?
Yeah, I mean, I always go to the gym, so I always lift. Most of the time I do Pilates in some form or fashion.
Okay.
I do a pretty extensive warm-up. If I know that I'm going to be on stage, it's going to be about 35 to 45 minute like stretch and conditioning. And then I also do a vocal warm-up, whether or not if I'm driving into my job or if I'm just like staying in one place and then the job is there, I just try to find a corner and do vocalization for about 20 to 25 minutes. And honestly, what works for me is just singing through the material that I'm going to be doing, especially if I'm in a principal track or something. I like to get my voice through the material one time before I actually do it in front of an audience.
That's so amazing. That's so cool. And then you were in Tarzan Rocks, Vampire Dancers,
Yeah.
musical, Wine
Yeah.
Lovers musical, and Rock of
Yeah.
Ages. Tell me, like, what are some of the highlight moments that you can remember during those performances?
I mean, they were all different. The first couple that you mentioned were some theme park projects that I did. And anything that is in a theme park, just seeing the audience's reaction to your work that's what we live for. Yeah. So with Tarzan Rocks, the audience was just right below us and we were in a really huge amphitheater. It was very interactive. We would go out into the audience. You could shake people's hand and everybody was just so thrilled and happy to be there. And so that was like one of the things that I really loved about Tarzan. And Rock of Ages, the music itself, it's an 80s rock musical. So the fact that the audience sings along with you is so cool.
Surely.
Vampire Dancer is one that I did at Universal Hollywood. It was obviously during Halloween. So everybody that comes to the park during that time of year just like wants to be scared. They want to they want to be thrilled. So we got to scare them a little bit. So we had our dance piece. We did like a 5 to 10 minute dance piece, and then we could walk around and interact. And people like to be scared, and we looked like vampires. So it was really, really cool.
That's so cool. I mean, yeah, so cool. I mean, your career is so cool.
Thank you. I mean, it's been very what's the word? Like I've done a lot of different things, which is great because it's led me to where I am now.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. You get the chance to kind of see things different and also learn so many things, and also it gets you into this, what can I say, like you basically grow up quickly because you start to see things differently, but also whenever you get the chance to kind of really enjoy the moments, you actually enjoy them. You kind of take them and enjoy like 100% of it. So that's
completely.
That is one of that is I think one of the cool things about getting the chance to explore so many different things.
Yeah, and it's the people that it introduces me to as well. I learn so much from the people that I perform with and I'm around, And, you know, those things, you can't take them for granted.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And for your live performances, you were the backup dancer for Miley Cyrus
I
and
was.
Rick Hall. Tell me about
Yeah.
that experience.
So when I was employed with Walt Disney World, each year for Christmas, they do a special performance for the parade that's aired on ABC, which is the network. Okay. And every year they choose different artists, different, you know, vocal artists to come and do segments for the parade, for the filming. And one of the years that I was employed at Disney, they asked me if I would be a backup dancer for this specific artist. And it was in 2008, 9, I believe, when Miley Cyrus was still doing Hannah Montana.
Okay.
And I was a really big fan. At 26, 27, I was still a major fan of Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana. Anyway, so they got a group of us together and they said, we want you guys to be our dancers for an artist, but we can't tell you who it is. So we started rehearsing with these two gentlemen from LA. And it was a hip hop number. And the whole time, like, we didn't really know who it was for. And I just knew in my gut it was going to be Miley Cyrus. And then finally, like, once we got closer to the finished time of rehearsal, they told us it was Miley Cyrus, and we got to do our performance with her. It was incredible.
Yeah, I bet that you get the chance to be with someone you admire. It's awesome.
And with Todrick, one of my girlfriends that I used to dance with at Disney as well, I'm telling you, like, Disney is the most incredible hub to meet people, and you'll keep the connections with them for life. I met a girl and we worked together at Disney. She became one of his really close friends and one of his choreographers early on in his career after American Idol. And they were coming to New York City to do a convention for YouTube. Okay. And she reached out to me. She said, are you interested in being a backup dancer? We need a female. Do you know of anybody else? And my husband as well is a performer. So I said, yeah, my husband and I are both available. So we danced for him. It was so cool.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Such an epic experience, because the fact that both you're doing, it's amazing. I'm speechless every time I get the chance, like, to speak with all of this many talented people like you guys, because you do so many cool stuff.
Well, thank you.
It's amazing. And so then you were the singer in Snowbirds, Once Upon a Wonderland, and City Walk's Rising Star.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, what do you like the most about singing, and also where does your inspiration come from?
What I like most about singing is the storytelling. You know, I think that's probably the same thing for, you know, dancing and acting too. It's just, you know, what story we're trying to get, you know, across to the audience. And so I really love harmonizing as well. It's one of the things that I think that I'm better at. Okay. I just have a really great ear for harmony, and I love singing with other people. And I think it's also the connection that you have with other people as well, and the audience. So I think that whole thing is one of the reasons why I love singing. And then one of the things that inspires me is just the way that we are making other people feel. So it's my inspiration and it's my motivation, because, you know, I perform because I love it, but I also perform because I love what it does for others.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. I can understand that. Yeah, the fact that you can get somebody, the fact that on your performance you can make somebody happy, or you can make somebody kind of forget their stressful day or something that they're going through their moment, and to kind of put them away for a side so they can enjoy your performance. Yeah.
I just saw Lion King yesterday with my family, and I have a couple friends in the show, and I've seen it before, but I just knew, you know, even as a performer myself, and everyone in my whole circle is a performer. It doesn't even matter when or how, but when I see a show, it will just, like, change me for that 2.5 hours. Sure. And what we do is so incredible and so special. And even for it to touch someone like myself, who I do it every day,
Yeah.
you know, it just goes to show you like the power that our industry has.
Exactly. And like how you manage to maintain your voice ready when you have like several performances.
Right. So, you know, going along with kind of what I do, like pre-show, I do a physical warm-up. I do a vocal warm-up. I sometimes steam. So I have like a little automated like steamer that, you know, kind of looks like an old telephone almost.
Yeah.
I steam if I need to. And sometimes I'll do lozenges, but not often. It's just honestly about like making sure that my body and my voice connect together. Because what happens is when you get physically fatigued, your voice goes as well, because you don't know how to manage, you know, the entities separately or together. So you just have to make sure your body is in the right place and your mind is in the right place, and then how to use your voice safely. And I think I've gotten to that point just, you know, with practice over the years and patience. You know, if I'm feeling very, very tired, I'm not going to push.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
So that's what I do. I try to just make sure that my body is connected with my brain and with my voice.
Yeah. Wow. And like so like when you're making like a choreograph, tell me like how many rehearsals like usually take in order to get a choreograph ready?
Depends on what the project is. Sure. For stuff for like Broadway and tours, we do about 4 to 6 week rehearsal, and then another 2 weeks in the venue. For stuff I've done in theme parks, it can be anywhere 2 weeks to 3 weeks. If you're doing a special project, like when I danced for Todrick, that was 2 days.
Wow.
And then the show was on the 3rd day.
Yeah.
I think one of the stresses that goes along with the responsibility of being a performer is it's important for you to pick up fast. So you have to be able to pick up quickly and retain, because often, you know, you'll only have 1 day to rehearse, and then you need to go on the next day in front of an audience. So it's just kind of, you know, having that ability is really key.
Wow. And what advice could you give to those who recently started their dancing, singing, and acting career?
Something that I wish someone would have told me very early on was that the way that our industry is going, it's very important, you know, depending, not everything, but there's a lot of things that it's really important for you to be well-versed in all areas. You need to be a great singer, you need to be a great dancer, and you need to be able to act. So I wish somebody would have told me that when I was a little bit younger, because I was a dancer my entire life. And then once I graduated college, I was 23. I was like, okay, well, I think I want to be on Broadway, but I don't know how to sing. And so I started going to vocal lessons. And, you know, by that point I was 24, 25. And then I kind of felt like I had missed the boat. You know, everybody is starting so young singing. Some people start singing at 5 and, you know, they take it into professional careers at 18 and 19. Well, I didn't do that. I started really, really late. So I really wish I would have known that before.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just important to like make sure that you're strong in all areas.
Okay. And like in general, like from all of your different performances at the moment, tell me like what are some of the best memories that you have?
Let's see. I think one of my favorite shows that I've ever done is Rock of Ages. Yeah. And as I said previously, you know, the music itself is one of the reasons why I love the show so much, and I think it's one of the reasons why the audience loves the show so much. The connection that I had with my cast. There's only 13 people in the company of Rock of Ages, so it's very, very intimate. Just the connection that I had with all of my castmates was really, really special when I was doing that show. And so I would remember, you know, even on 2 show days, we would find moments where we would lock eyes on stage, and if we were feeling tired, it would just uplift us. You know, we had each other's back. We were able to make new memories on stage together and it not feel so stale, because it can feel stale when you do it 8 times a week, or, you know, however many shows you do. So it's just important to like keep the connection with your company and then it just makes for a better show. So yeah, I think that's what it is. Just like being in Rapid Ages and being with that company was truly special for me.
Yeah. And tell me, like, what motivates you? I mean, we all have those days, right? In which we feel terrible, in which we just don't know what to do, in which we are questioning ourselves if we are on the right path or not.
Right.
We feel like maybe I'm getting like too old to do this. Like,
I think that every single day.
Like, what gets you to be kind of out of that toxic stuff and to be like, I'm just gonna continue what I love the most.
I know. I mean, a lot of it comes from self-worth, you know. It's just we have to keep reminding ourselves that we are worthy of good things in life.
Yeah.
We deserve happiness, and we deserve to do what we want to do. We should never be forced into doing something that doesn't make us really happy. And so I think one of the things for me, especially during the pandemic, that motivated me was just seeing other people continuing to do what they love and posting it. And it just motivated me to keep pushing forward as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is other people, you know, and just like watching other people and hearing their stories and, you know, being inspired that way. And also my husband, like, you know, him being as positive as he is and what he does is really, you know, really inspiring for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end, that circles everything, you know, that gets you to this, into this.
Yeah.
Into this, you know what I mean, right? It gets you into this thing which you feel good to go, basically, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Totally. And if you could describe your career at the moment, on a movie, TV show, or even a book, why not? What would be the title of it?
I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it would honestly be Perseverance.
Okay. Would it be a movie, book, or TV show?
I think it would be a book. Because I always talk about jokingly writing a book about my experiences in life as a female performer.
Yeah.
And I would never do it, but I always joke about it just because, you know, like I feel like I've seen so much. And just my experience, you know, having started the musical world a little late in my career, just where I am now. I didn't get to where I am now by giving up.
Totally.
I showed up and I presented my best self every single time. And I think that's where, you know, where a lot of us are really nervous, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you're starting, you know?
Yeah. When you're starting, exactly. Like there's a confidence level that you just don't have. And that's the first thing that kind of goes on us is just confidence, loss of it. So we just have to like rebuild it and then just keep going.
Amazing. And if you could describe also your career, but on a drink, which one would you pick?
So I was thinking about this earlier. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know. I couldn't solidify one drink, you know, honestly, because I really don't drink that much. So let's just say the first thing that I thought of is that I love coffee. So I thought to myself, you know, what has my career trajectory looked like? It's definitely been ebbs and flows, ups and downs, as everybody, you know, everybody is like that. We've all been on the up, we've all been on the down. So I was thinking, okay, so I love coffee. I've been on the up and the down. You know, it kind of looks dark sometimes because you get like into that dark frame of mind. You're not sure whether or not you belong. So I thought about maybe a coffee martini.
Okay.
Because in the end, you know, it's caffeinated. It's going to lift you up. It's going to taste good. It can be dark, but you know, there is the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I thought of. I know it's kind of strange, but I don't know. I would like to know what other people say when you ask them that question.
Oh yeah, I mean, sometimes they would say, you know what, the one that I have the most is Long Island tea.
I actually said that to my husband as well. I was like, it would be funny if you could say a Long Island iced tea because when you get it and just like knocks you off your feet.
Yeah, that's the one that they have like a lot of either that or a beer.
A beer.
That's it. So yeah, it is interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
And like my last question here, Jennifer, like what can we expect from you in the future?
Look, I'm hoping that, you know, my stepping stones thus far have got me to a really, really great place. I am booked for 2022, and I am so grateful and thankful. I can't announce it as of yet, but TBD. But I think going forward with that, I hope that I just continue to work consistently. I really hope that our world does not experience another pandemic like this.
Yeah.
So our industry doesn't shut down again, because a lot of us lost the momentum that we were building.
Yeah.
And that was really crucial. So I just, I need to keep propelling forward. And I'm hoping that one day Broadway is in my future.
I'm super sure of that. I'm super sure one day we'll see this huge sign with you on it. I'm super sure. Mark my word. And
I mean, that would be pretty epic.
I knew it. Make sure to take a photo of it so I can say.
Oh, I will.
I knew it.
Thank you.
That's amazing, Jennifer. I mean, at the end of the day, it is really cool what you do. The fact that you have managed to continue pursuing it, because I think that starting like your own thing, like your own project is difficult. And of course you will get into a lot of awkwardness here and there and a lot of shitty moments. But like the fact that you continue pushing it, that's kind of the living proof that dreams come true, and of course there's like a lot of hard work behind that not
absolutely
know,
you're really right about that. It is hard work. I always say, I'm really lucky to have booked this job, but it's more so I've worked really hard.
Totally. And you deserve it. And you deserve that and a lot of more epic stuff. And I'm super sure that all of those epicness moments and stuff are gonna keep coming into a point in which you're gonna be basically resident of Broadway. So
thank you.
We'll see. So again, thank you so much. Also, I want to thank those who are watching. As I said, if you're watching this later on YouTube or on Spotify, make sure that you follow Jennifer in all of the social media. Normally, what I would say is for you to put pause, and leave a like, subscribe, follow super quick, then hydrate, and then go follow Jennifer. Leave a lot of likes, share the content. I mean, if just share the content. I mean, let the world know that we have this amazing, talented, super person right here, and then come back. And again, Jennifer, thank you so much. Before I send you off, I need to send you off properly in an epic way again. So,
thank you.
Yeah, keep killing it. Keep being awesome. And
thank you. Thank you so much for your love and support of our industry.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.